All right, how's everybody doing? I'm back again with another quick video here. I am live, so I'm happy to interact with anybody who stops by. But as I am still relatively new, most of the time it ends up just being a video, which is no problem at all. All good. But first thing, the big news, what everyone wants to talk about, I'm sure, is Omar Marmoush. This Twitter account, Purple Panel, seems like they've got the sources on this deal, and they are saying that the basically it's done, and we're getting a cut price deal, is what the reports are, at least that I'm seeing now. It says right here, if we pull up to their pinned tweet right here, it looks like we're signing for a fee valued at around 45 million. I believe that's pounds. I'm American, so I don't know all the conversion and whatnot, but that's what we're looking like here. Marmoush done. I'm assuming that the medical will be done sometime this week, as it is just Monday. Maybe he'll be on the bench at the weekend. Brentford, I'm not sure. Maybe next game, something like that. But shouldn't be too long for what it seems like, at least with Omar Marmoush, according to Purple Panel, at least. They are consistently updating with other reports as well, talking right here about Vitor Heiss, and seems like they are optimistic to get the deal done. But of course, there was news that Brighton were interested, and maybe even some other Premier League clubs. There was a rumor about Madrid being interested, but maybe they thought he wasn't quite good enough, which is probably some PR spin, because City have beaten Madrid to the deal here, which is what normally comes out of Spain whenever they lose out on a target. It's we're not actually interested at all in the first place. We had our reservations, which is why we didn't get the player. It's not that he chose someone else, it's that we didn't choose to go for him, which is what happened with Haaland. If you guys remember, a few years ago, it was pretty clear Haaland was choosing City, and Madrid came out with some PR spin that they thought his injuries were a concern, or that he wouldn't fit into the plan as right now, maybe later. So that's kind of how it goes. But Kusanov as well, also supposed to be getting done here shortly. He might actually be the first one to lift a City shirt. The medical might be today, might be tomorrow, and we could see it done sometime this week as well. But those are the three names that we're really seeing the most here. We're seeing some more Guardiola comments from the press conference. A lot of it's about Kyle Walker, and Kyle's decided he wants to leave. No worries, a club legend, but probably was smart to get out now. It just hasn't been a great time for him, unfortunately, and he hasn't been great for us either. So probably should have left, in the summer or the summer before even. But this is where we are, and it probably makes sense for City and for him to move on at this point. There is some nice news that Stones feels better, so maybe we could see him play, and then hopefully we let him recover enough so we're not injured right away again. But I don't know. We'll see. There was some more comments about McAtee, that of course he hopes for him to stay, and it seems like that's the theme with Pep. He likes the players we have, doesn't want them to ever leave. But if I'm McAtee, I'm probably looking at leaving it. I just feel like it doesn't make much sense to stick around when you're only getting these reserved minutes, and if someone else in Europe is promising first team minutes, and you're ready to move with your career, move forward, then it probably makes sense to head out, and it's looking like Germany, possibly with Mainz heavily linked, as well as Dortmund and Leverkusen from what I've seen. That was most of what I saw from Twitter, at least throughout today. There was something about Pep and his wife, splitting up, but again, that's not really relevant for me, at least. It's not something that, really makes a difference. But like I said, Marmoush seemingly close to done. Kusanov close to done. Vitor Heiss maybe is the furthest away from being done at the moment, but City are still confident of a deal getting done. There was another player linked right here, fullback from Juventus, Andrea Cambiaso, and apparently he's He's got the esteem of Guardiola, according to Matteo Moretto here. So I don't know. I'm unfamiliar with the player, but a player for Juventus, left back, probably pretty good left back. Not really a position I see that we would be needing. We have Ake, we have Vardiol, we have even Akanji can play out on the left. So I mean, if Kyle Walker's leaving, it makes more sense in my mind for right back, and maybe Andrea Cambiasso can play out on the right as well. I'm not sure. Again, unfamiliar with Serie A football and Juventus and Italian football, but that's most of what I've seen on Twitter today. I will quickly look at the FA Cup game against Salford over the weekend. Now, a lot of people were pretty upset when they saw the lineup, and they just said that we weren't taking Salford seriously. And I mean, I don't know how they can feel that way. No offense, Salford, but they're in League Two. They're in the 4th division. We are the 4-time reigning Premier League champions. Like, we should be able to rest some of our players and be all right. I don't think at any point we were worried that this was not going to go our way. I mean, you see here by the scoreline, it was 8-0. Pretty good performances across the board. In my mind, Doku, very good. McAtee ends up getting man of the match here on FOTMob, but it's kind of a fugazi man of the match to me. I thought he was really poor in the first half. He's actually one of the worst players on the pitch in the first half. Now, second half was great. He had a great eye for a goal, was in the right spots, and that's something to be commended for sure. Getting the 3 goals is always impressive, but I thought his passing was poor, and just overall play was poor. And it's something I said on Twitter as well. It's Pep's probably looking at the performance, not the outcome. He's watching McAtee give the ball away, have these misplaced passes. Yes, the outcome is he got 3 goals and maybe walked away with the man of the match, but was the performance actually good? And in my mind, no, unfortunately. So it is what it is. It seems like he's out to Germany anyway, so nothing to be too worried about. Really impressive from Nico O'Reilly, though. I don't know how much you can overall take away playing Salford at home in an 8-0 game. I mean, it seems like they kind of gave up towards the end, but throughout, I thought Nico O'Reilly was really impressive. He's just a big athlete out there. He just is a ball carrier. He's got athleticism and power. When he moves, he was gliding through the midfield when he would press up, and of course got himself a goal. Was really impressive. So I do hope we can see more of O'Reilly going forward, and this is kind of a soft spot for City fans. I know everybody on Twitter is always looking for the youth to get in the team more, and that's one of their critiques of Pep. But maybe just when O'Reilly gets his chances, he continually plays well and is able to do that. So, I mean, other than that, Mbama also gets a goal. Doku got 2 goals, 2 assists. Grealish was pretty good, but again, Salford, there's not much I'd take away personally, other than O'Reilly was pretty good and McAtee wasn't super good, unfortunately. Now, that's most of what I want to talk about, at least with the FA Cup game. Tomorrow, we do have a game against Brentford. Now, pretty important. Back to the Prem. It's been a little while. We are on a 2-game win streak in the Prem, so we're doing roughly a little bit better. We have a predicted lineup here on FOTMob with Ortega, Ake, Vardiol, Kanji, Lewis, Kovacic, Savinho, Bernardo, KDB, Foden, and Holland. Maybe we could see something like that. I'm more interested really in the suspensions here and injuries. We have John Stones. I would imagine this is a no. Ruben Diaz is in training, apparently, so it's maybe, but at least last year when Ruben Diaz was coming back from an injury, we did not rush whatsoever with that, and we gave him an extra, I want to say, month almost before he came back into the team. And maybe with the injuries you've seen to Ake and Stones, maybe Diaz is not ready to be risked at the moment. Rodri, of course, out for the season, and Oscar Bob back in training, but I would be surprised, again, to see him get any minutes here. I will pull up the lineup builder here so we can at least look at what I imagine is going to be. This is my prediction. I mean, Pep maybe do a madness and do whatever he wants, but I'm thinking that Ortega keeps his place in goal. Ederson was fine, didn't have really anything at all to do in the Salford game, but he's playing in the FA Cup. That used to be Ortega playing in the FA Cup, so maybe they've switched roles momentarily or until something changes. I don't know. I just imagine Ederson sticks in goal going forward in the Prem and in Champions League games is what I think is likely. Kyle Walker's obviously not going to be playing. I would be very surprised if he does, so I'd be looking at Rico on the right here. And I guess really your only options are Akanji here and then some combo of Nathan Ake at left center back and Gvardiol out here. I feel like this is all we have to offer with Stones not being available and Diaz not being available. So it seems like the back line kind of picks itself, which is fine. It is what it is. This is, why we got each of these guys 45 minutes at the weekend. We got a rest here and a rest for Gvardiol as well. Elsewhere, I imagine this is a no-brainer. Haaland starts. As much as Mbama was pretty good, I don't see him getting any minutes anytime soon, especially with Marmoush coming in here. Now in the midfield, I'm sitting here thinking we go with Kovacic probably, just because I like what he brings. He brings experience, and he's a little bit more athletic and movable and mobile than Gundogan, so I'm going to go Kovacic here. Bernardo again got a rest, so I'll probably imagine Bernardo here playing next to. I want to put Kev in, but again, the midfield, it seems weak with Rico, Kova, Bernardo, and Kev, not really tracking back too much. But I'm going to go Foden in the midfield, actually, instead of Kev, unfortunately. This is what I kind of imagine happens a bit. We get something like this, maybe. And then these guys spread out a bit more, and he's got some freedom to roam. On the left, regardless that Doku played well, Doku, you played against the League 2 team, I would hope you played well. I'm rolling with Savinho out on the left because I think that's his best position, playing with Haaland for sure. So out on the right, this is where it gets a little interesting. I guess you could put Doku there, but Doku seems to play better on the left. I've only had Oscar Bob, and we were able to play Bob out here. Maybe you do Bernardo outright, and then we bring in another midfielder. We bring Nunez in, maybe. Nunez was okay in the game against Salford. I'm not sure. I do get kind of stuck here. I would lean on what the chat has to say, what they think is going to happen. I might go Foden out here, actually, and then replace Foden here. How do I replace Foden here? With, we'll remove him and go with Kevin, I think. Because I just don't see a world where Savinho does not hold left wing. And I don't see Grealish playing again over Kev or Phil in the middle. And Bernardo got a rest, and this guy just is undroppable for Pep. That's his son, apparently. He never doesn't play. So that's what I'd be looking at. I imagine this team is good enough to get a point or 3 against Brentford. Brentford is, a tough side. They've got some danger men, of course. They have Wissa, very good player, and Bemo, very good player. Somebody I think City actually should look at signing. He can play up top. He can play out on the right. He's a great player, and he's actually young. He's only 25. He gets kind of, I think, overlooked just being at Brentford and playing for a national team that people don't get to see a lot in Cameroon. I think he's an overlooked player. It'd be a great signing for one of the big clubs in England to go get him. Other than that, with them, I'm not super familiar. I know Vandenberg is someone we've been linked with in the past, and but that's mostly it. Thomas Frank, great manager, and they've got a few injuries, but no one super notable from what I can see. If we look at the table here, we are in sixth, 1 point behind Newcastle right now, and it does look like fifth will be a Champions League place. So, hopefully we can see Nottingham Forest have a little bit of a drop off here. I mean, they've won 5 in a row. They're on incredible form. Same with Newcastle, 5 wins in a row, at least, according to this form chart here. I would love to see some of those clubs above us drop some points at the weekend and see us move back into the Champions League places. But Brentford is going to be tough. They're a very good team. Again, it is a team that we should be able to be beating should everyone be healthy. And that's not where we're at yet, but it is somewhere where we're at least on the way towards. We could be worse. Could always be worse. We could be Manchester United down here to 13th. So that is most of what the video that I wanted to talk about, at least today. If there's more transfer news or a City get a deal done or anything else, I will be back with another live stream and video and just be ready to talk to you guys and see about the chat and see what's going on. Hopefully everyone's doing well. I'll be back when there's some more news. I appreciate anybody watching.